Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear, and I will permit it to pass over me. Where the fear is gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain.
Are you a fan of Dune, or a bit skeptical about this sci-fi masterpiece? It's been called the greatest science fiction novel of all time, and also coming-of-age story. But the first part of Dune feels like it was made for the chosen ones, or just for dedicated fans of the story. I totally understand those who were a bit lost. I definitely could be if I watched it from unfamiliar with the story perspective. And on top of that, the film ends at the most interesting part. But today, when we have the part 2 released, we can truly appreciate this absolutely genius adaptation. So, in this lesson, we'll go beyond the plot and dive into deeper ideas behind its creation. And of course, we'll learn new words and phrases along the way. We'll practice our listening skills with actors' interviews, train our speaking using advanced vocabulary. So, by the end of this video, you'll be able to watch the film with full understanding of the plot, the characters' conversations, and with level C2 words in your personal dictionary. Let's dive into this mysterious world of the future and enjoy the movie together. 20,000 years from now, there is a beautiful, hot, with almost no water, but crucial for humans planet, Arrakis.
At nightfall, the spice harvester's land.
Outsiders are those who don't live there or do not belong to a particular group.
The outsiders race against time to avoid the heat of the day.
They try to avoid the heat, meaning they stay away from the heat. That's why they come at night.
They ravage our lands in front of our eyes.
They ravage our planet, meaning they cause great damage to it. They ruin it. It's word of level C1, used mostly in formal context.
These outsiders, the Harkonnens, by controlling spice production, they became obscenely rich.
They control the spice production, which is only available on this planet. They became obscenely rich, meaning so rich that it's beyond moral approval or acceptance. You can use this word saying obscenely fat, obscenely cruel, obscenely expensive.
But one day, by imperial decree, they were gone.
They were gone by imperial decree, meaning by the official order, official statement that something must happen.
Why did the emperor choose this path? And who will our next oppressors be?
Oppressors are those who treat people badly and cruel, limit their opportunities and freedom.
Use the voice.
Give me the water.
If you've never read or heard about the Dune books, the first 3 minutes of the film already raise some big questions. Wow. There are 6 original Dune books written about 50 years ago, and honestly, they were way ahead of their time. There is so much of a lore and backstory that the first film adaptation and the old TV series couldn't quite pull it off. They struggled to make the story feel believable or as mesmerizing as Denis Villeneuve's version. He nailed it. Warner Brothers made a bold but brilliant choice in selecting Villeneuve for this risky and extremely challenging project, but it paid off. He's not your average director. His movies like Prisoners, Blade Runner, Sicario take their time, go deep and pay attention to every little detail. The visuals in Dune are by far the most impressive. You feel its massiveness, like it's from the other world.
I was 15 years old and I was grabbed right at the beginning of the first pages, and I read the whole series and I became a Dune fan. I became obsessed by it.
Warner's agreed to split the story into 2 films, set a budget of 165 million, gathered amazing cast, and invited the legendary Hans Zimmer to write music for the film.
By putting that voice there, you instantly knew we were going to tell you a story that was dark and mysterious and different, and you couldn't quite work out, was this human or was it beyond humanity?
In this version of Dune, Villeneuve spends most of part 1 building the world, laying out the politics, culture and atmosphere that lead up to the real action, which is only coming in part 2. The catch? He doesn't really explain much for newcomers. So, if you are diving in without any background, it's super easy to feel lost. The story begins with another house, Atreides, where Paul Atreides, the main character, and his family live on a different planet, Caladan, very opposite of Arrakis, an ocean-covered world, peaceful, green, and full of rain and rivers.
Extreme temperatures and treacherous weather events
Paul is reading about Arrakis.
make life outside the cities of Arrakis truly hostile.
Treacherous, level C1, is used in more advanced and formal contexts. If you are talking about objects, it means dangerous and unpredictable. If you are talking about people, it means disloyal or deceitful. For example, a treacherous friend. That weather makes life difficult, almost impossible to survive. It makes it hostile. You can also say hostile environment, hostile climate, hostile terrain.
Fremen attacks make spice harvesting extremely hazardous.
Fremen attack harvesters, making the process hazardous, meaning making the process of collecting spice dangerous and risky. We already know why they attack outsiders. They protect what belongs to them.
For the Fremen, spice preserves life and brings enormous health benefits.
Spice is crucial for them. It helps to preserve lives, meaning prevents from damaging, keeps in good condition.
Without spice, interstellar travel is impossible.
For the others, it's crucial as an ingredient for navigation.
Making it by far the most valuable substance in the universe.
It makes the spice by far the most valuable substance. By far means extremely, without comparison, or super, and it's always used with superlatives like best, hardest, most beautiful, etc.
Smile, Gurney. I am smiling.
Paul's family is greeting the Emperor's delegation, who arrives with a dangerous mission for them.
How much will it cost them traveling all this way? Total of 1.46 million, 62 salaries.
We see an advisor standing next to Paul's father, who can quickly calculate large numbers in his head. How is that even possible? That's something Dune fans know, but Villeneuve skips over it in the film. All these people live in a time after a great war between humans and artificial intelligence. A war that humans won. To prevent machines from ever taking control again, society banned thinking computers and instead pushed humans to develop their own mental abilities to incredible, almost superhuman levels. Do you have a feeling that now is the time to start thinking about this idea again? So, we see high-tech ships and shields, but no computers making decisions or fighting battles. Instead, they rely on specially trained humans, and combat is done with swords, not guns or AI.
Father, I'd like to ask to join Duncan Idaho on a scout mission to Arrakis tomorrow.
It's out of the question.
In this conversation, we learn a bit about the politics and the danger they're facing.
The great houses look to us for leadership, and this threatens the Emperor.
The higher rank looks to them for leadership. It's a phrase that means they hope Paul's family will provide what the greater houses want.
By taking Arrakis from the Harkonnens and making it ours, he sets the stage for a war.
This sets stage for a war. It's an idiom. It means it creates the possibilities for something to happen.
Paul Atreides is a young man who's facing extraordinary circumstance, an extraordinary struggle, is trying to navigate it with integrity, with honor, with faith in the tradition of House Atreides and of Duke Leto, his father. Paul sees that there's the potential that he is on a path greater than he understood, that perhaps he's not simply a regular man.
Paul is having his fighting training. Humans developed special protection, the shield that can be turned on and off.
The slow blade penetrates the shield.
Penetrate means to move into, to move inside of something. So we understand that actions should be quite fast in order to keep the shield undamaged.
You never met Harkonnens before. I have. They're not human, they're brutal.
We see the house of Harkonnens and their leader, cruel, corrupted, and terrifying persona, who is also obscenely fat.
Man is a gift, not a gift. And the Emperor is a jealous man.
Right after that scene, Paul's mom wakes him up to meet Bene Gesserit Mohiam, who used to be his mom's mentor. These two scenes are connected but not explained by Villeneuve. Vladimir Harkonnen was kind of cursed by this powerful woman for his cruel behavior when she was experimenting with genetics of the following generations. That curse led to his obesity and limited his movements. That's why he uses technology to lift him up and move around. Bene Gesserit has arrived to test Paul.
Defiance in the eyes, like his father.
You must do everything the Reverend Mother tells you.
Defiance means to be in opposition against authority. Be proud and be against someone who has more power.
Come here, kneel.
She uses so-called the voice. It's another superpower people developed, similar to hypnosis that makes others obey unconsciously. Paul currently is learning the voice technique with his mom.
Put your right hand in the box. Your mother bade you obey me.
Bid, bade, beaten. These are the forms of this irregular verb. In the film, this word is used in its old-fashioned meaning, which is nowadays substituted by the word tell. So she says, your mother told you to obey me. You can hear this word in the expression to bid someone farewell, meaning to say goodbye. It's the word of level C2, and today means to compete to do something or offer money and compete for buying something. For example, bid for the company, bid to host the concert.
Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings obliteration.
Paul is in agony of burning hands. His mom knows it. She says, I must not fear. Fear brings obliteration. It means something that destroys completely, removes all the trace, like something never existed. For example, the war brings the obliteration of villages.
He wields our power. He had to be tested to the limits. So much potential wasted in a male.
Paul successfully passes the test, and only after we understand why he was tested that brutally. His mom was supposed to give birth only to the girl, but she disobeyed. And now Paul has too much power inherited from both his parents.
Do you see so little hope? Let's hope he doesn't squander it.
Squander a chance, opportunity, means to waste it, not to use it to your advantage. Paul and his family arrived to Arrakis.
That means the Bene Gesserit have been at work here.
Planting superstitions.
The locals screamed a word that means Messiah, making Paul question religious superstitions.
They see you, they see the signs.
You see what they've been told to see.
Superstition is a belief based on an idea of magic, but not on science. Villeneuve gives the audience the opportunity to see in detail the scary world of a vast, dreadful desert.
For me, one condition I had to shoot the movie was that I wanted to shoot in the real desert. My argument was that they didn't shoot Jaws in a swimming pool. The title is Dune. We needed to be in the real environment, so we will be inspired by the infinity.
When you're shooting in the desert in Jordan, the spirituality of the location, you're really in it.
That's why at the very core it's a tragedy about a family going into a new environment.
If we can't refine spice and ship it off-world, we're dead here.
To refine something means to make it pure, to remove what's not needed, unwanted, to make something of a better quality. He says that because spice is the only thing that could keep them from being killed. Little did he know. The first attempt of killing Paul has happened.
You have my resignation. You would deprive us of your talents at this time. So I am honored.
Deprive means to prevent from something, especially from what you really need. It's used in the phrase, deprive someone of something.
It must never be known.
There's no satellites over Arrakis. Our traders will die in the dark.
That very powerful lady who tested Paul arrived to Vladimir with the permission to attack Atreides.
But his wife is under our protection, and by extension, her son.
As we see, to ruin the family was the mission from the very beginning.
Allow them the dignity of exile.
Dignity and exile are both level C2. Dignity means the quality that makes people respect you, the importance of value or behavior that brings respect towards you. Exile means to be sent away from your own country or city, especially for political reasons.
Worms travel deep but get closer to the surface when they attack.
They are checking their harvest machines and getting warned about the desert worms, huge killing creatures.
Why don't we just shield the crawlers?
It attracts the worms and drives them into a killing frenzy.
Frenzy is another word of level C2. It means uncontrollable, violent behavior. The rescue vehicle fails. The Atreides team decides to help and rescue people in that crawler. The scene is tense. The desert is real, but the music is even more impressive. Hans created something that would have a feeling to be out of this time, of this world. He used different voices, machine sounds, electronic sounds, anything that would give you goosebumps.
You want to invite your audience on an adventure. You want to invite them on a journey. You have to say it's not going to be quite what you imagined. It's going to be different. It's going to be interesting.
As always, he nailed it. That got him another Oscar.
Everything they've left us is in shambles. We've been set up to fail.
In shambles means in a very bad state. Do not confuse this word with the verb to shamble. It has totally different meaning. To walk without lifting your feet and make noise.
God in heaven.
Get everything with guns off the ground! Go!
The night of Harkonnen's attack has come. Atreides were betrayed by their own doctor, who had to do that trying to save his wife.
It will be your last breath. If you choose your moment well, it will also be the Baron's.
As a revenge, he replaced Leto's peg tooth with a poisoned one, so that Leto, by cracking it, can kill Vladimir, the Baron himself.
I jammed their comms and lowered their shields. I delivered the Duke and his family. The bargain to the letter.
The bargain to the letter. Bargain means an agreement when people do something for each other in exchange of something. To the letter is an idiom. If you obey instructions or rules to the letter, you do exactly what you have been told to do, giving great attention to every detail.
Your son is dead, your concubine is dead.
Concubine is a woman who, in some societies, lives and has sex with a man she's not married to.
Tonight the house of our trade is full.
Later cracks his poisoned tooth and kills Harkonnens and himself. But unfortunately, Vladimir survives.
Kill them all.
The film truly deserves its praise for the most mesmerizing science fiction that is so rare to see nowadays. I hope now you understand it better and appreciate it more. Let's go through the level C2 vocabulary we've learned today to be confident in using it in our speaking and writing. Choose the word or expression that describes the situation and make your own sentence with it describing the same situation. Pause the video if you need more time. Vocabulary to use: ravage, treacherous, by far, set stage for something, defiance, dignity. 1. A student always scores much higher than everyone else on exams. How would you describe her? Example: she is by far the top student in the entire class. 2. A wildfire spreads rapidly, destroying forests and nearby homes completely. Example: the wildfire ravaged the mountain village, leaving nothing but ashes behind. 3. A student speaks against unfair school rules during a protest. Example: she spoke out in defiance of the school's unfair rules. 4. If a politician secretly betrays their ally to gain more power, how can you call his actions? Example: his treacherous actions cost him the trust of his closest allies. 5. An elderly man stays calm and respectful during a public criticism. Example: he handled the harsh criticism with quiet strength and dignity. 6. A team's hard practice can lead them to victory. Example: weeks of training set the stage for their championship victory. Write in the comments about your experience today. Subscribe to the channel not to miss Dune Part 2 and hit me the like for the video, and see you in the next lesson.
This is only the beginning.